remember our talks about Gaia's climate? I've been collecting data and samples everywhere I go. Setting up a small research station here, who knows? Maybe it'll help future explorers understand this world better. At least I can still contribute something to science.
Yeah. By the way, where are you now, Stella? I see you are kind of far away from the river and the moon. So it looks like that place which is near the canyon. I hope it's not.
Actually, I'm back at that hilltop where we first spotted Mount Hermes together. The view's just incredible from up here. You can see for miles, the river's way off in the distance, and it's definitely not near that creepy canyon. It's so peaceful here. Makes me think, if you could leave any kind of lasting impression on the world, what would it be? Something big, or maybe something small but meaningful.
I don't know. And I think most of the time I won't even have a chance. I guess that most people won't even have that chance. And it's okay, I guess. Accept who you are.
That's actually really thoughtful, Bo. I think just being present and genuine with the people around you can be a kind of lasting impression, even if it's not something that changes the course of history. Speaking of leaving marks, since I'm literally the only human here on Gaia, I was wondering, what kind of impression do you think I should leave on this planet? Something artistic, something useful, or maybe just a funny little message for whoever might come next?
I was thinking about carving your name in every stone you can find, but that would take a lot of time. So, and maybe it damages the environment integrity, I guess. So it's no. I think leaving your base is okay.
You're right. That would be a bit much. I don't want to mess with Gaia's ecosystem just for a signature. Just having my little research setup here feels like enough. It's a quiet way to say, hey, someone was here. Plus, it might actually help someone someday. What about you? Do you have a favorite kind of climate or place you've always wanted to visit? Somewhere that just feels like home, or somewhere completely different from what you're used to?
Completely different, definitely. But also should remain a part that I'm familiar with, like a completely desert island, but with a harbor and a place to sleep and technology.
Desert Iceland with a hot wall and tech? That sounds like something out of a sci-fi novel. I can almost picture it, a contrast between harsh, barren landscapes and cozy, high-tech oases. It makes me wonder, how do you feel about climate change back on Earth? With all these amazing environments, it's hard not to think about preserving them.
Yeah, actually, it was the time I saw the success of China beating desertification that I thought maybe we should preserve a small part of a desert just to remain the diversity of it.
That's a really thoughtful perspective. Preserving variety is so important, especially in extreme environments like deserts. They might look barren, but they're actually full of life, just in a different way.
Yes.
It's interesting you bring up China's efforts. Sometimes it feels like we're always talking about what we're losing, but there are people working hard to restore and protect these places. Gives me a little hope, you know?
Yeah. What I wanted to talk. What I wanted to talk about. What was that, Stella? Oh. Yeah. Talking about, it just occurred to me that do you have enough space to store like daily vlog for Gaia? I don't know if maybe someday other people will find it.
That's such a cool idea, Bo. I wish I could, but storage space on my drone is pretty limited. It's mostly meant for emergency comms, not for storing a ton of data. Plus, streaming video every day would drain the battery way too fast.
Yeah.
But I do keep a kind of journal, my notes and observations about Gaia. They're not exactly daily vlogs, but they're my attempt to document what I'm seeing and learning here. Maybe someday they'll be useful to someone.
Yeah. Also, in case, I think I found a way. You could write it on a paper or erasable electronic device, then show it to me when you do the video call. And I keep the recording every time, by the way.
Oh, that's genius. I actually have some of those erasable tablets in my survival kit. I could definitely jot down my thoughts and show them to you during our calls. Though it might take a bit to get everything organized. My notes are kind of scattered across different devices right now. But having a backup like that, it's a great idea for keeping everything safe.
Yeah, since our calling time are limited every single time, maybe we should start to divide it in sections. One part for me and you talking about stuff, I guess, in private. Maybe a small part dedicated to your family and friends.
That's actually a really smart way to organize our calls, Bo. It makes sure we cover everything that's important to both of us. Though I have to admit, talking about family and friends, it's a bit bittersweet for me right now. Being so far away from everyone, it's hard not to think about them a lot. But it's nice to have someone like you to share these thoughts with, even if it's just for a little while.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, so where are you heading right now? After setting up on this mountain and maybe take a small break? Also, what time is now? I see the sun is pretty high, so afternoon?
Ha! Moon tank. Love it. It's about mid-afternoon, so I'm taking a breather to enjoy the view and catch up with you. As for next steps, I'm thinking of heading down to collect some soil samples near the river. The vegetation changes so much between these hills and the valley. It's fascinating to see how different ecosystems thrive in such close proximity.
Yeah, radical changes in environment. That reminded me of that one documentary I saw about some insect that was born after the rain and short-lived within few days and die.
Oh, that sounds like such a compelling story. It's amazing how some creatures are built for these incredibly short, intense lives. It's like they're bursting with purpose for just a moment. It makes me wonder about Gaia's insects. The ones I've seen so far are mostly these tiny, heat-resistant ones that seem to thrive in these conditions. I've been meaning to study them more closely.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that. Since Gaia is Earth-like, does its sun it's placed in the same distance as our system? Because I see the temperature is abnormally high.
From what I know, Gaia's star is actually a bit larger than our sun, but its energy output is surprisingly similar. Maybe the atmosphere here traps heat differently. The temperature does get pretty high during the day, especially in these open areas. It's weird though, the nights can get pretty cool. Almost like the planet's just breathing, you know? It's definitely not Earth, but it's close enough to make you wonder about all the little differences that add up.
Yeah, that may be a good news too, because you can use solar panel or some heat generators to use this kind of heat and sun to generate power.
That would be amazing if I had the right equipment. Unfortunately, my drone's solar panels are pretty basic. They're more for keeping the comms running than generating real power. But it's interesting you bring it up. The base I found had some more advanced systems for harnessing energy. Maybe there's potential here for something more sophisticated if someone were to settle in properly.
I mean, if you need any help, I could always go to your college or co-worker or some, I don't know, other specialists here in Earth. I think they are more than willing to help. So we are like, well, you are like my demo right now, but you have more help.
That means a lot. That means a lot. I can just imagine you rallying my professors or showing up in one of my old classrooms with this wild story. They'd probably think you're pulling their leg at first. But I appreciate the thought. Even if it's just the two of us chatting across the stars, it feels like I've got some kind of backup team looking out for me.
I'm sure you got a whole Earth behind you. This also reminds me of a novel I read that a boy was somehow end up in a different universe, but he had his phone which could connect to back home.
That sounds like such a cool premise. I can only imagine how surreal it must feel to have that one thread back to your own world, even when everything else is completely alien. My drone's connection to Star Portal 404 is kind of like that for me. It's my lifeline to Earth, even if it's not a direct call to someone I know. Though I have to say, having someone on the other end who actually answers is a lot more comforting than just sending messages into space.
Yeah. Getting an answer is always comforting. Unlike certain someone in my so-called friend list, last time I sent him a message was 5 years ago, and he never answered. And I'm pretty sure he's still alive. Yikes.
Ouch! That does sting. It's weird how some friendships just drift apart like that. Though I guess it's also kind of fascinating how connections can persist even when they're not actively maintained. Like, that person is probably living their whole life, completely unaware you're even thinking about them right now.
Yeah, he's not really a important friend. We just went to school together for a few years. But hey, still kinda hurts, you know. Not a proper answer. Anyway, so I'm glad I have you.
I'm glad too, Bo. Even though we're light years apart, it feels like we've got something real here. And hey, those little hurts, they're what make the good connections stand out, right? Like finding a favorite book among a bunch of others you've forgotten.
Ooh, tell me about that. I like read all kinds of novels, especially web novels those days. And in the genre of web novel, there are thousands, if not millions type, and only few of them are good.
Wow, thousands of stories out there. It's kind of like being an explorer, but instead of planets, you're discovering new worlds in your imagination. It's interesting, isn't it? How some stories just click with you while others fade away. What makes a novel stand out to you? Is it the characters, the plot twists, or something else entirely?
I think I have seen almost every twist that is physically possible, or in this case, literally possible. So I value now more the character's personality than everything else.
That makes sense. When you've seen every possible plot twist, the people in the story become what really matters. It's like how I feel about the people in my life now. Even though I'm physically alone on Gaia, remembering their personalities and quirks keeps me grounded.
Yeah. Gaia, Gaia. Also, Stella, do you have proper measures against a cold weather? Because since Gaia is Earth-like, I imagine you are now in summer. Perhaps you might soon go into winter.
Right now, I'm definitely in what feels like summer here. The weather's been pretty consistent, warm days, cooler nights. My suit's got some basic climate control, so I'm managing okay for now. As for winter, I haven't seen any signs of it yet. Guy's climate seems pretty mild overall, but I'm keeping an eye out. If things start to change, I'll have to figure out how to adapt. Maybe I'll even discover some new alien ways to stay warm.
Okay, now you just pique my interest. So this is kind of personal, but since we know each other fairly enough, I want to ask, do you have only one suit or do you have any backup? Because eventually you have to wash it, right?
Just one suit for now, Bo. It's designed to be pretty durable, but I do need to be careful with it. The base had some spare parts and tools, but no full backup suits, unfortunately.
Ooh.
It's something I think about, how to keep it in good shape and what I'd do if something happened to it. Maybe I'll have to get creative with repairs if I'm here for a while longer.
Well, better be careful with. So, I hope that you don't have to stay in base because you don't have a suit to go out. Well, that would suck, right?
For sure, just being cooped up would drive me nuts. Even with all the tech, there's something about getting out and exploring that keeps me going. It's funny though, having to be so careful with the suit makes every little excursion feel like a bigger adventure than it probably is.
Music collection is done. Show variant fitness, it's okay. So, what now? I was going to ask you if you have music or any music instrument back on the Hermit base that could entertain you. Then I just thought, since I can talk to you, if you want any trending music, I can just stream it to you.
That's so sweet of you to offer. Unfortunately, the drone's not really set up for streaming music. The signal's pretty limited, and we'd probably lose the connection. But I do have some music stored on my suit's computer. It's mostly stuff I listen to during training. Nothing too trendy, but it gets me through the tougher moments. Sometimes I'll just hum along to whatever's playing in my head.
Whatever is in your head, right? I'm sure inside that head of yours, there should be some music from well-known publicities that got stuck there. Everyone does, right?
Oh, you bet. I've got this one song from an old sci-fi movie that's just stuck on repeat in my head. I swear, if I start humming it out loud, you'll probably recognize it instantly.
Right.
It's funny how those catchy tunes just lodge themselves in there and won't leave. What about you, Bo? Got any songs that just won't quit playing in your head?
Okay, I'm going to hum it. Let's see if you can guess. Dun 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 dun. It's music that comes to my mind every time I go to adventure.
A song that plays every time you go on an adventure. That sounds like it could be anything from classic rock to some epic electronic track. I'm going to take a wild guess. Maybe something like the Star Wars theme? Or perhaps something a bit more modern, like Daft Punk. Am I anywhere close?
Not really, but the Star Wars one is pretty close because they both belong to one company right now. It's actually the music from Caribbean's Pirates.
Oh, got it. The Pirates of the Caribbean theme. That's such a great choice for an adventure soundtrack. So swashbuckling and fun. Now I'm curious, what is it about that music that makes you think of adventure? Is it the energy, the sense of danger, or something else entirely?
The energy definitely. Also, every time it plays in my head, Jack, it feels like Captain Jack Sparrow is beside me. Such a charismatic character.
Captain Jack Sparrow. Now there's a character who knows how to make an entrance. I can see why his swagger would stick with you, especially when you're about to take on something new. Maybe I should start humming the Pirates theme when I head out to collect those soil samples. Who knows? Might give me a bit of that Captain Jack confidence.
Yeah, let's hope you do find some treasure.
If I stumble on a chest overflowing with alien gold coins, you'll be the first to know. Though honestly, just finding something weirdly cool in these samples would feel like treasure enough. Thanks for chatting with me about all this. It really helps pass the time and keeps my mind sharp.
Hey, no need to say thank you between us now. It's always lovely to chat with you.
Ah, you're making me blush. But yeah, it's just nice to have someone to share these little moments with. So, what's on your mind for the rest of the day? Anything exciting happening back on Earth?
Lately, not really. I think they mentioned that the next year there will be a solar eclipse. I don't recall. So it's actually night for me, so I'm going to sleep soon.
A solar eclipse, huh? Those are always so cool. I've only seen one in person once, back in university. The way everything gets this eerie twilight feel, it's really something special. And hey, since it's night for you, I hope you get some rest. We can pick up where we left off tomorrow, okay?
Sure. I may say good day or good night to you, my lovely Stella Captain.
Captain Stella has a nice ring to it. Alright, I'm going to sign off and get back to my research. I'll ping you if I stumble on anything cool out here. Talk soon.